Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you. My name is Ofoi Emma, your usual host. Today, once again, we are in for the Way Out show. And tonight, I'm in the studio with another powerful man, and we are in for hosting him, of course, for the EC. That is the aspirant for EC Chairperson coming in. And today I'm with him in the studio here, and he will be talking a lot with us. Our followers, wherever you are, I want to welcome you that this is a Way Out show that is hosted every time at FMS, the Faculty of Management Sciences, and we are doing this for the Greater Busitema at large. Wherever you are, from Arapai, from the main campus, from Bale, from Nagongera, and all other campuses, I'm telling you, you are most welcome. Right now, I am joined in by a powerful man in the name of Odo Peter, who is running in for the guild, who is running in for the EC chairperson, that is Electoral Commission chairperson, and he'll be introducing himself to us tonight, and of course, telling us more about that position, why he is coming in for that position. And without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, let us hear a hi from him as he tells us more about himself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, presenter, for a very wonderful intro and welcome. I'm so much privileged to be here today to share as students of the mighty Busitema University, because I'm quite sure what we are due to share from here today is for the benefit of all the students' fraternity of Busitema University. And I want to believe and create awareness outside there before we go as far as talking of the key action points of the reason why we're doing this. I want you to know that whatever transpires right now is all about us. My name is Odo Peter, and I'm a student of Busitema University doing my bachelor's degree in animal production and management in the Faculty of Animal Sciences, and that is Arapai campus. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome each and every one of you who is outside there listening and who is going to see this show today, that it's going to be a wonderful one, and I want to appreciate the innovativeness of the students of this faculty for what they have come up with. And I believe as young people with agile minds, this is the best things that we are supposed to do as we progress with our future, our life. And besides that, the reason why we are here today, we are here to discuss the matter at hand. And I want to believe that all of us know that what is coming ahead of us by next week is an EC election, which I am one of the aspirants for Chairperson Electoral Commission of this mighty Busitema University. And the reason why I've come in for this position is to make sure that we are going to have regular, free and fair elections. And as we all do know that these elections that are coming ahead of us is going to be our platform that will aid each and every student of Busitema University to exercise their rights of voting and choosing the rightful leadership that are going to propel the leadership, propel Busitema Guild leadership ahead of us. Because I want us to take this as a very important thing, that because it starts with the Electoral Commission, and that is why I've come in and say that when given a mandate as Odo Peter, I am going to make sure that we really, each and every student is given a right, because I want to believe that when all students in a university are given a right to exercise their right of voting, you find that at the end of the day, the leaders that we are going to vote are of our choice. And I want all of us to participate in this activity actively, knowing that when we make a mistake in the leadership that we are going to institute give him the authority, then it means we are selling our rights as young people, as students of this mighty Busitema University. Because when we talk about the guild is us. The guild is me, the guild is you as a student of this university. So we need to take up the mantle and take the responsibility. As the Chairperson Electoral Commission, I am going to work so hard with the current leadership, that is the ICGRC, GRC, all the leaders at the respective campuses of Busitema University. As we both know, that with the setting of Busitema University, we will have 6 faculties. But I'm coming in to stand, to bridge a gap between all these campuses, to make sure that the electoral process that is going to be conducted is going to be a wonderful one for the first time. And I want to plead and tell the students that In scenarios of dealing with administration, we are not coming to fight with administration, but I am also at the same time going to plead and request the administration that we take them as our parents, and we are going to plead to make sure that they give us space and allow us exercise our talent, our abilities as students, to make sure that each and everything that we do is satisfactorily to our required interests. Otherwise, as Odo Peter, I have come in to make sure that we work together. And I want to call upon all the student leaders in Busitema University and those ones that are ready to work with me, that when given a mandate as a chairperson electoral commission, first thing I need to learn is to be considerate of the leadership of each and every campus, because what I believe, you're the ones who have been in the system and you know very well how best you can handle the affairs of your campus. We're meant to guide ourselves because as being young people with agile minds, we're supposed to cooperate. And this is the best way we can learn. I want us to understand that whatever we are doing right now, we cannot know of our fate, our destination tomorrow. Today we're in the university, but tomorrow we shall be somewhere. Tomorrow we shall meet somewhere. But this is an opportunity for us to exercise and get to know of how best things can be done. I want to promise the students fraternity of Busitema University that when given a mandate, mostly the student guild leaders, that when given a mandate, I am ready to work hand in hand with all of you. And from the very first time, we want to eliminate this aspect of delay of remittance of the funds that are meant to run the electoral commission in Busitema University. Through how we are going to handle this is to make sure that the very first time when I am given the mandate to be the chairperson electoral commission, I have to make sure that I sit down with administration, top management, and make sure that we come up with a very unified budget that brings all the budgets of all the 6 faculties to make sure that whatever we need to conduct the electoral process is always availed in time. Because what always makes us get a problem is when we get limited funds or we get funds late. So we have to make sure, as a chairperson electoral commission, I'm going to make sure all these activities are handled early in time, and so that we can have our elections. And I want to call upon all, again, the leaders, that what is going to be done, always the best way we can do this is when we can accept to embrace each other. What we are doing is meant for us. And I want to tell you that we need each other as a leader who has come in to create and make friends of value at the same time. Let's take this as an opportunity. As EC, a chairperson electoral commission, I'm also always going to make sure that I work with entirely the whole team, all the vice chairperson, presiding officers, administrators who are going to be involved in the process, to make sure that we have a peaceful election which will end without any student being victimized, without any student being injured, because I want us to look at each and every one in all these faculties, all the 6 campuses of the mighty Busitema University as your brother and your sister. And what we are doing is not the outside politics whereby you're going to fight your brother, you're going to fight with your colleagues, but we are all exercising our rights as students at the same time to learn what is well of us and what we are going to make implementation of it from outside there. I want to say thank you for today's opportunity, at the same time request support for all the guild leaders who are going to institute in or vote in the EC, Chairperson Electoral Commission, that give Odo Peter a mandate. And I want to promise you that when you give me a mandate, you will never regret that day that you're going to, and the day and the time that you're going to work with me. I pledge my allegiance and cooperation that we are going to work together for the best of our university, Busitema. Thank you so much.
A very thank you, Mr. Odo Peter. We are so glad that you are here today, and you're talking to the right people right now. I believe they are following up this show, and I believe you've spoken something into them, and they have heard you, and they have been following you so keenly. And I want to say it is a very good thing that you've done to take that initiative to speak to them. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, our dear friends and relatives, you know, I want to tell you that leadership starts with us, and to have efficient leadership, we need the right person who is going to stand for the truth, who is going to advocate for the right thing. Actually, the process of this election starts with having the best EC chairperson, and this is what we are advocating for right now. And thank you very much for the time that you've given for this show. And tonight we shall be having, of course, some few questions coming in. I see our inbox being flooded with some few questions, and before going further, we are going to be having some few questions that people have been asking themselves. And apart from what people have been asking themselves, we have been witnessing them happening in the system of the election that we have at Busitema University. And one of the things could be, we have been seeing some of the top administrators getting interfered into the election, the guild election. Some of them could be, they have their own personal interest in the leaders that they want to come in, and yet it is not the students' choice. So the question is, how are you going to deal with such scenarios where the top administration, they are getting involved in the election that is meant for the guild students? What are you talking about? How are you going to handle that when you are given the mandate to become the EC chairperson? How are you going to handle that affair? You can answer that one very fast, and we go to the next question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, moderator, for such a very wonderful question. It is a very good question indeed that we need to tackle earlier in time, because as we do know, we may know that they are in our university here, maybe some administrator may be having interest in whom they want to be the leader. But I want to tell the students out there that it is not based on the interests of the administration, but it's based on our interests. Because the leaders that we are going to elect are the leaders that will bridge a gap between us, the students, and the administration. So when we go as far as getting a person that is being influenced and pushed by administration, then it means we are not sending a leader there that is going to speak your voice. We need leaders that are going to speak our voice. That is why I'm coming in. And the way I am going to handle this as a chairperson electoral commission, we need to live in a very peaceful environment. The first thing I have to do, as when given a mandate as a chairperson electoral commission, I have to make sure that I confine a meeting between the electoral commission, my committee, and the administration to make sure that we iron out all these issues so that we can come into consensus and make sure that at the end of the day, when the electoral process has started, we don't meet such mistakes, because we take them as our parents. But they need to give us room to exercise our full rights and get to elect the rightful person of our will as students. And I'm quite very sure with a mutual dialogue between I as electoral commission and my committee, we're going to sit down with the administration. They will desist away from such acts if they have been doing it. So at the end of the day, we both know that the most important thing that has brought us here is our academics. So we want to end it peacefully within ourselves as students and within the administration, and I believe they're understanding people, and they will understand us as students, they will understand me as the chairperson electoral commission together with my committee. Then at the end of the day, we shall have leaders of our choice as students. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Odo Peter. Thank you very much, Mr. Odo Peter, for that wonderful answer that you've given to those questions. And still, as we are continuing, and another question would be about the violence that is always witnessed during the election. And with an example, with a reference in point, we have ever seen Arapai causing chaos, and to the extent that even they burnt the ballot papers last election. So, as the electoral chairperson, the electoral commission chairperson, as we are entrusting you with our votes, we are giving you the mandate. How are you going to deal with such issue of violence during the during the election time? How are you going to deal with that? Because the followers, the potential people, the potential voters, and the students at large, they want to hear how you are going to deal with the violence during such time.
Thank you so much. First and foremost thing, I want students, our fellow brothers and sisters out there, to know very well that the election process that we are going to conduct from Busitema University is going to be a free and fair election when I'm given a mandate. And secondly, I want everyone to understand that whatever is going to be conducted and done from outside there is for our own good. It's for our own best interest. Now, these challenges of violence always come. It doesn't. Students of Busitema University are very peaceful students. But now these challenges, according to my observation, they have always arrived due to poor update of the registers. Now, when the register is not well updated, like, for example, what happened last time for Marapa, you find that most of the students Their names were not there in the register. Now, secondly, some of the ballot papers were missing. So when they brought the ballot papers, when they are missing, and in the record, when you track down the record, you find that there could be maybe 10 bundles of the ballot papers for the guild president, and you see only 9. So this is how I intend to handle this is to involve the leadership of each and every campus. When we are making these ballot papers and when it comes to transportation, they have to work hand in hand with their wardens. And because when you talk about the transportation of ballot paper, it's the wardens of the respective campuses that are the ones to transport them. And ideally, as a chairperson, when given a mandate, I'll make sure that the leaders of that campus are involved in this electoral process so that all the things are ironed out early in time before the ballot papers are taken to the polling stations to avoid such inconveniences that will arouse the interests of the students and make them act in a ruthless way. Otherwise, I am sure this matter will be handled when given a mandate, and it's all about teamwork and understanding each other. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much for such a brilliant idea that the views that you've given. Thank you so much. If you have just joined in on the show, I'm telling you, this is the Way Out show that is always held at Busitema University Faculty of Management Sciences. And tonight I'm hosting in the aspirant for EC Chairperson, Mr. Odo Peter, who is live here with us at the studio right now. I told you my name is Ofoi Emma as the usual host here. So we are still continuing with our questions. We are left with a few minutes to go as we are wrapping up. There's a question that is saying that now as the EC Chairperson, how are you going to coordinate? How are you going to make sure that you are coordinating with the Vice Chairpersons at the various campuses? Because we have ever witnessed that these vice chairpersons, EC, at the end of it all, they begin doing only what they want. We have ever seen votes being rigged. We have seen this idea whereby you come in, you give me money when I'm not worth even standing for a post, and because you have the mandate, you have the authority, you are the vice chairperson. You want me to compete with someone, right? Because of your interest, probably you come in, you give me, you come in to somebody who is not worth, and you ask that person for the money, right? Because you want somebody to compete, you don't want to see any post going unopposed, of course. So because of your selfish interest, you ask for money, you know, such that somebody comes in and challenges. How are you going to make sure that you coordinate with the VCs? How are you going to make sure that you coordinate with the VCs at every campuses and to make sure that everything run on successfully? Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a very good concern, and at the same time, it's a very wonderful observation. And you see, first and foremost thing, I want to create an awareness to each and every interested candidate for EC or Vice Chairperson outside there, that we must know that the electoral procedures and rules and regulations that we follow the constitutional amendments of our country, because we don't formulate our own rules or the proceedings as Busitema University. And at the same time, being a public institution, we are guided through the ministerial acts. Those are the acts that come from the ministry, the electoral commission. So our constitution guides us. And we're all very much well aware that it is when it comes to conducting elections, issues of bribery are not allowed. That is criminal. So for us to make sure that we have a free, peaceful, and fair elections, let's accept to work with our brothers and remove these acts of bribery. Now, how to handle this as a chairperson electoral commission? The first thing, because it's my mandate and my responsibility to make sure that all the students are sensitized, all the vice chairpersons, presiding officers, and polling agents, and even the agents of the candidates that are going to be at the polling stations are sensitized, and they understand what they are going to do, and they understand the implications of which when they get you conducting or doing such acts during the electoral process. So sensitization is the best, because these people need to be given information, and that is my responsibility. As a chairperson, I'm going to work together with the vice chairperson, create all that awareness to them, so that at the end of the day, such acts does not happen. But also at the same time, I still have to get in touch with the student guild body, that are going to give us a mandate to work as a chairperson electoral commission, they still remain our superiors and our bosses. I'm going to make sure that we coordinate with them so that they get to know what transpires from each and every campuses, because they are the best people that can give us the rightful information. So you find at the end of the day, we're going to work as a family. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Odo Peter. And actually, I think we are coming to the climax of our show, and probably we shall be handling the last question. And of course, the last question, we shall be asking you about the strategies that you've laid forward to ensure a peaceful election this time. What are your strategies to ensure a free, a fair, and of course, a just election this year? Because we want to assume that this year's election is going to be very different of all the elections that had been taking place here. And number one thing, the last thing that I don't want to forget, we have ever had problems here whereby the year ones and actually the new students, they have not been voting, especially at FMS here. We have been seeing, even when you have done a test, in most cases they have not been voting. So as the EC, we need justice. We need a free and fair election. What are your strategies about this? Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last question, and the EC chairperson is going to be answering all these questions, and of course, you'll say a bye-bye to us, and as for us, we wish him a very safe journey in case he'll be leaving the studio. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, moderator. That is a good observation. Well, I must appreciate your observations, because all the questions that we are discussing today as students of this mighty university are for our own good, as we started earlier on. But with this aspect of the voting, other students may be missing to be voters, but yet they are supposed to be eligible voters. We have been facing these scenarios, because I want to believe that some of us, we are all not new students here. But then when given a mandate as a chairperson electoral commission this time around for Busitema University, the first thing for us to curb down these challenges here, we need to make sure that I collaborate with the administration. First thing, we need to harmonize with the administration personally as a chairperson electoral commission, so that we can settle our differences. We know that the administration works and ends here. This is where the students take over from. Then secondly, I have to work with the administration, the registrar, office of dean of students, the wardens, because the wardens are the representatives of the office of dean of students from all the respective campuses, to make sure that we come up with a well-informed and updated register early in time, and this register must have only the authentic students who are within the university, that are the ones who are going to be eligible students to vote, because we always find scenarios also whereby you find the register comes in. Some students who are within the university are the ones who are supposed to vote. Their names are not in the register. But then the other ones, the names you will find there, you find the names of students who have maybe finished and they have left the university. So these are some of the things we need to make sure it is handled early in time, but updating the register, harmonizing the register together with the wardens and the register of the university. So you find at the end of the day, we would have curbed down this challenge of other students missing to vote. But of course, the other aspect of the new students, I believe this time around, looking at the setting of where we are, everyone is eligible to vote, because all the students are at least a semester on. And we have all moved on. They have all registered from their first semester. So each and everyone who is in the university, when given a mandate as a chairperson electoral commission, we are going to make sure that we display a register early. Students go and check on their names. The ones who have complaints and they are within the university, we re-update the register to make sure that everyone is included. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Yes, your last word for our followers, the people who are following us right now.
Oh, thank you so much. My last word is that first I need to appreciate you, my brothers, for being so proactive and creative with coming up with such. I must appreciate you, because this is for our good. The initiative that you have taken for Busitema University. Everything that we are doing, as I said earlier on, it's all about us. And I want us to believe to ourselves and say that give ODERO a mandate and a chance to be the chairperson electoral commission of Busitema University in this next coming fourth election. And I'm ready to work together with you as a team, as a family, and move our mighty Busitema forward. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Come that time and trust your vote to Odo Peter, and you will never regret this day. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end of our show today, and I remain Mr. Ofoi Emma.